I thought we had just lost and there was nothing we could do. We'd been fighting this campaign for months to make a road safer. A child had been killed and 6 seriously injured. But we'd been told that nothing could be done because it wouldn't be classified as a dangerous road unless 3 people died. Horrific. And we felt stuck. But we'd built power. We had a room of over 300 people in it, and we were talking to the leader of the county council. Sheila, a leader of one of the churches most affected by this dangerous road, was up on the stage, looking face to face with the council leader and trying to negotiate the 3 changes that she wanted and that her team had decided upon. They'd pre-met with him, of course, to arrange it all, but he was quite keen to say no. At the back of the room, he'd said to me, "I'm just going to monitor this. I think that's enough." She asked him to make the road safer by changing the speed limit and by making the central reservation bigger. He replied that he couldn't make the central reservation bigger for technical reasons because the road was too narrow. This is when I thought we had lost the campaign, and I looked over to our paid professional community organizer who was standing near the stage, ready to support. And he wasn't doing anything. He wasn't stepping in. He was leaving the leader standing there with this problem. And I thought, that's it, we're done. I said, make it bigger. It doesn't have to be wider. You can just make it longer. At this point, he realized he was done. He was all out of arguments, and we had the power in the room. Within a month or so, the diggers were out and we had won. We had got this road to be safer. I learned a really important lesson from that leader and that organizer that day. We've got to know when to step in and when to step aside, not to rush in and rescue, to be less attached to the outcome, to being willing to let things fail because sometimes they will. But that creates the opportunity for surprise and for winning. Putting aside our own ego, putting aside our attachment to a particular set of results or a particular solution allows things to emerge that are outside our control and expectations. That's tough. It takes the time of right mindfulness and contemplation in our own personal lives, but also being mindful, being aware, having right views, all those skills that Navayana Buddhists and engaged Buddhists talk about all the time, being applied in the moment out there in the world. That's where we find our liberation, where we find our nirvana. We find it in amongst the leaders who've built power and know how to use it and are willing to try. But that leaves us, I guess, with a whole bunch of questions about what to do next. How do we build power? How do we build those relationships? And how do we find trust?